All right, as we've talked about on this show for a couple of weeks now, some believe that lawsuits could be a market buffer against tariffs. While the court just denied one small business group's push to block tariffs, at least until a new hearing is held on May 13th, others are still trying. For example, the aforementioned state of California just filed a lawsuit to try to block Trump's tariffs on foreign trading partners. California lawyers argue that the American president has no authority to tax imports on a whim or on a state. And while we don't know how specific judges may ultimately rule, your next guest has an idea. Andy Laperriere is head of U.S. policy at Piper Sandler. Always, again, a must-read. Andy, it didn't get a lot of attention, but courts did just strike down one challenge. One group of, I think, 5 small businesses filed together and sued. That was pushed off to May 13th. But you believe there is still a chance that tariffs get stopped or delayed in a court. Why?
Yeah, I do. I think it's a good chance. Well, because I think Congress gave the president a wide variety of tools to impose tariffs under various circumstances. And there's a lot of different provisions of various statutes that allow him to do that. But I don't think any statute, including IEEPA, the one the president has invoked, that gives the president unlimited authority, just complete carte blanche to impose tariffs any way he wants. And so that's essentially what he's done here with IEEPA, and I don't think he can do that. So I'm not sure when that might be overturned, but I think the Supreme Court eventually is going to overturn what Trump has done.
You think so? The Supreme Court, which is conservative leaning, will ultimately say no to the president?
Yeah, well, I think people misunderstand what conservative court means and what this court has been doing over the last several years. And what this court has been doing over the last several years is saying that the law is the law and the Constitution is the Constitution. And there's case after case, from Biden's student loan to the eviction moratorium, to the West Virginia versus EPA case, even the Loper Bright decision last year, which was about this thing called Chevron deference. And case after case, the court has said, look, the law means what it means. You can't just take some old statute, pick it out, in the case of IEEPA, almost 50-year statute, use it in a way that's Congress never envisioned, and that the law does not clearly give you the authority to do. And so in case after case, they've struck down presidents who are overstepping their legal authority. And I think they're going to do exactly that. I don't think they're going to put a red shirt on and say, oh, we like Trump, so we're going to go with him. I think they're going to go with the law.
In that case, Andy, you could say, well, the market has been overreacting to all these tariffs, but also has to just go with, this is kind of unprecedented. We haven't been through it before. And we have to assume the tariffs are going to stick until the court potentially overturns them. How long could that take? When might we get any clarity on whether that's really likely?
Yeah, well, I think 2 points. Number one, I'm not sure the market is overreacting at all. But it could be, there's hearing May 13th. There'll be other cases. There could be a stay or an injunction at any time. On the other hand, this could play out over many months. But I think it's important to point out that even though the president, I don't think, can do what he's done on Liberation Day through IEEPA, there are a lot of statutes that allow the president to impose tariffs under various circumstances. So if you think about these product tariffs like steel and aluminum and autos and some others that are coming down the pike, he's using a different statute for that, Section 232, and he's claiming national security grounds for that. I think it's kind of a sort of weak on the merits argument, but a stronger on the law argument. And so I think he's on probably pretty solid ground there. So if he were to lose on IEEPA, I don't think he could do across the board tariffs, but then he could use other statutes to put some tariffs back into effect pretty quickly. So it's not saying that the president can't do a lot, because he can.